Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and as you can tell, I've got another Darklord deck for you. Now here's the thing, I really enjoy Darklords. So, whenever something new happens that makes Darklords better, or makes them, easier to use, or what have you, right? I'm immediately going to jump on that train. And what happened this time that changed it so much? Well, first and foremost, a lot of people are now using this skill compensation, right? Originally, we were using things like beatdown to get over things, or tie that binds, or anything like that, to beat into the opponent and for really big numbers. Then we decided to use ourselves the Destiny Draw to draw up the specific cards that we needed, or we used ourselves the what was it? The Kaiba Court Bling, and that whole pay-to-win strategy. And now, compensation can be used each time your life points decrease by 1,000. Send a card from the top of your deck to the graveyard and recover 300 life points. Now, obviously, in a Darklord deck, every time that you use one of your abilities, whether it's Ixchel, Nastin, Tez, or Amdusk, you're going to lose 1,000 life points, right? So that's going to activate your compensation to send a card to the graveyard, right? Now, sending a card to the graveyard is really good, because in the graveyard, you activate their effects to use the spell or trap cards, right? Everyone knows this. If you play Darklords, you send things to the graveyard to activate them in the graveyard using your monsters, right? So, that's why it's so useful, right? You send a card from the top of your deck, and guess what? It's a banishment. Now you have a banishment in the grave to search up any other of your Darklord cards, right? So, that's one thing that helped make Darklords a little bit better, and kind of changed a little bit with the Darklord deck. But, in the new box, we have Artifact Lancea. Now, why am I main decking this card? What does this card do, right? This card, when you send it... Okay, first and foremost, you can set this card into the spell or trap card zone from your hand, and then if it's destroyed, you can special summon it, which is pretty awesome. Getting another body onto the field. It's got 2,300 defense, so it's not exactly like the smallest, right? 1,700 attack, not that much to... unimportant. Not really what we care about. But during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card from your hand or face up from the field, and neither player can banish cards for the rest of this turn. What are the most top meta decks? Ritual Beasts, right? And Element Saber Invoked. Now, what do those two decks do, right? The two other top tier decks. And even, heck, even Blackwings does this. They banish cards, right? And you prevent that entirely, right? And here's the thing. That doesn't stop you in any way from summoning or sending or doing anything, right? Because you don't banish. You only send things to the graveyard or destroy things, right? That's it. Boom. That's why it's so good, right? Now, you're probably noticing I'm not running a Superbia. Why am I not running Superbia? Because it's not really all too necessary. Now, that being said, you could take out another Nastin to throw in a Superbia if you so chose, right? You could play it like this. You could take out the Galaxy Cyclone to run a Cosmic Cyclone instead, which... there you go. This is also another deck this is just kind of like what I've noticed. And I think, honestly, probably a Cosmic Cyclone is a little bit better, just because it is a quick play spell. You can set it and then flip it over just and take out one of your opponent's cards, as well as you pay the 1,000 life points to activate Compensation to send something to the grave. Pretty freaking good. There you go. Now, that being said, Superbia you still don't really need. It's kind of a meh option. You could run another Tez if you so chose. I'm running double Dusk to you discard a card and a Darklord card to grab up a Darklord card. Really good if you accidentally send your Desire to the grave using Compensation. And then instead of having to get a banishment to search for it, you can just use your Dusk instead, which is pretty freaking good if I do say so myself. Or if you just need to get something into the graveyard, you can do that, right? You just need at least a Darklord card within your graveyard already, right? And we're running literally only 2 non-Darklord cards. So, that's the deck. Pretty simple. Let's hop into some replays to show you why this works and how it works. Alright guys, welcome back. We are facing off against a Yusei Fudo, and we start the duel ourselves. So we're going to Banishment, search up Ixchel, activate. We do have the contact within our hand, so we contact Ixchel, contact Nastin, activate Compensation, send to the grave. We sent a Desire, that's fine. We grab up ourselves the Sanctified Darklord, then we activate Compensation one more time. Activate Dusk, send the Banishment, or the Sanctified, to the grave. Then we normal summon our Ukubak to send a Banishment, right? Then we activate our Sanctified Darklord to negate the Shiranui Spirit Master, right? Then, during his end phase, we activate to grab up our Sanctified Darklord once again, right? He didn't swing in, oddly enough, to our Ukubak. He should have. That would have been very smart from him. But it doesn't matter. Activate Compensation. Send using our Desire. Desire, activate, send World Legacy. Send. Try to send it to the grave. He activates a World Legacy Clash. This is a really good card. This is a really good card for Shiranui. Why is it really good? Because they all have effects that banish, or that activate when they are banished, right? And this card banishes, right? If this card is banished, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. So, he does the right thing, and targets our Ixchel. Then we flip up our face-down Darklord contact to bring Ixchel back. Now, we still do have the Sanctified Darklord in our field, right? He brings forth his Squire Saga, so we are going to send Nastin to negate its effect, right? Now, he's still big enough to beat over our Desire. However, we have Ixchel that has not activated its effect. We can activate Ixchel's effect to negate the Desire's effect to boost up back to 3,000, which is perfect lethal, right? He tries to activate his effect, doesn't work. We do that very thing that I just said, and he swings in, kills himself, right? There we go. That's how Darklords with Compensation works. Alright, let's hop into the next replay. Alright, I promise this is a new duel. As you can see, if he wins, he'll rank up. We're going to deny that. Let's hop into this duel. We don't start off with the best hand, but we do get to go first. So we activate double Ixchel, send to the grave. We have a contact. We have a banishment within our hand. We activate to send everything to the grave. Anyway, so right now we have our banishment, I believe, within the grave, as well as another Ixchel. And we have Ukubak on the field, which Ukubak being on the field is always scary. So what I like to do is I like to grab up Compensation, or not Compensation, Sanctified Darklord, so that I can set it to get rid of the Ukubak to negate an effect, right? Then we compensate for another Ixchel, which is really sad because that just sucks. He activates Moon the Black Wind, which means we're playing, or the Poison Wind, sorry, which means we're playing Blackwings, which is really scary. Blackwings are really scary. He activates Delta Crow. meaning that we have to immediately use our effect to get rid of the Uko back. We negate the Poison Winds effect. He activates his Raikiri, the Rain Shower, to destroy some of our cards. We are going to negate that. Now, I do have the Tez within the hand, but I wanted to negate that effect because I was like, well, he could just summon another one and then pop it. No one plays that, right? And then he tie the binds and doesn't swing in. He did flip our guy face up using Orochi, the Squall, right? He halved the attack of Darklord Eggshell, and I don't know why he didn't swing in. I'm pretty sure he had the capability to, but he didn't. And so now I'm real confused. Now, here's the thing. Had he swung in, I think we still could have won this, or at least come back and been able to do pretty well. Because he would have swung in, we would have let Amdusk die, and then he would have swung in again, probably with either Raikiri or Gale. We would have protected it using Tez, and then he would have had to swing in again. So that could have ended us had he just swung in. I don't know why he didn't. I think he may have been afraid of like a Sphere Karibo or something, or he may have misclicked. But we're going to continue as if that was intentional. We are going to compensation. We did actually pull up the Artifact Lancea, which would have been great to be in our opening hand because then we could have played it immediately and he wouldn't have been able to banish anything using his Poison Wind, but doesn't matter. We activate compensation once again. We send a banishment, which is super useful. We send the banishment back using Amdusk, and then we compensation once again. We have ourselves the combo. Here we go. Nastin, send Tez, send Sanctified Darklord, summon it into attack position. Then we tribute off for the Desire. Then we activate the Sanctified Darklord to negate the Chidori. Then we swing into Chidori and everything, and we crash using our Nastin, and he surrenders. I think that was a really big blunder from him, and he was hoping that ultimately it didn't matter, but it did end up mattering. Had he swung in, he would have destroyed my field, and I would have been on lower life points, and it ultimately, it would have been really hard for me to do anything there. But since he didn't, we did end up winning. So I feel bad for that guy, and I kind of wanted to put it in there, but yeah, I mean, Darklords do have really good comeback potential. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, here we go. We're against Aster Phoenix, and if we win, we'll gain a rank. So here we go. We start out with an Artifact Lancea within our hand. He activates Tamer Beast, Ritual Beast Tamer Elder, and then we activate Artifact Lancea, preventing him from banishing, which prevents him from special summoning. Now, he tried to special summon, I could tell, and he was very confused because he sat there for like a solid 30 seconds. Wondering what the heck was going on. We Ixchel, he Divine Wraths, which is really good for him, and then we just decide to contact and activate and end our turn. Divine Wrath was really weird. I've never seen anyone run that, but it is very smart in a Ritual Beast deck. He Ultipelios to bring back his Petalfin and his Ritual Beast Tamer Elder. Then he sends our Ixchel back. We activate compensation. We send 2 cards to the grave. Then we grab up our Desire, tribute it, and swing in. Obviously, he's going to bring back 2 cards. We swing into the Canahawk. And then at this point, I'm just like, okay, do not draw a Ritual Beast, or a Spiritual Beast, right? If he draws a Canahawk, a Rampengu, anything like that, we're in trouble, right? He doesn't. Perfect. We activate Ixchel, send 2 cards, grab up Nastin, grab up Ixchel, compensation, send to the grave. We send the Desire, doesn't matter. Banishment of the Darklords, grab up Sanctified Darklord. Then we activate again to grab up Tez, right? Then compensation again, send to the grave. We tribute for Tez, then we activate the effect of Desire and then swing in. Boom, boom. But as you can see, Artifact Lancea, that's why we have it in the main deck, right? There are so many decks that currently banish, right? And having that in your hand or in the main deck just at any point. Even if we had drawn that like turn 2 or turn 3 or something like that against Ritual Beasts, it would have been amazing. It would have been super good, right? Just because they wouldn't have been able to banish. So, having that against things like Ritual Beasts, against things like Invokers, is really helpful. So, let's hop into the deck replay, or the deck one more time, and I'll explain it once again. Alright, so, using this deck in particular, I feel like this is probably better for specifically going up against the more meta decks that you would see, right? So, in Legend and towards the top of King of Game, or towards King of Games, closer to that and stuff like that, if you're using Darklords like this, you should be able to do pretty well. Now, that being said, if you are running into more non-meta decks, take out a Nastin, take out the Galaxy Cyclone, substitute it for a Cosmic, substitute it for Darklord Superbia. You could put in Sphere Kuriboh. You could put in, you could take out an Amdusk to put in a Sphere Kuriboh. Like, there are a few options that you could do. You could put in Raigeki Break as well, because that discards a card as well to destroy a target on the field, which is actually pretty good. You could put in, Paleozoic Canadia or Floodgate. Those are actually both pretty freaking good in this meta. So you could do that as well. There you go. There are your options. Artifact Lancea, I would say you could side deck it if you were going into a tournament in Duel Links and say you wanted, or you noticed that you were going up against an invoked deck or something like that. You could switch in Artifact Lancea. Or you could just run it in your main deck because everything banishes and it's phenomenal to have. But overall, it's kind of up to you. I say that it's really freaking good, and on the ladder, is it going to be the best? Probably not, but just having the one is real useful. Try and get more if you can, in case you go up against, decks like Ritual Beast or something like that, so that you have multiple of them. But yeah, there you go. There are a lot more tech options now since the last time I've covered it, since we've gotten things like Raigeki Break and Artifact Lancea that have just come out. So, there you go, there's the deck. Highly recommend it. Still super fun. Still top tier. Tier 1 Darklords are back because of this card. There you go. Enjoy. Have fun. I will catch you guys next time. If you did indeed enjoy, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to see more content like this, just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.